We've got to put a suspension kit in because of the amount of weight we're carrying in this particular vehicle, and going up there you need to make sure you can carry the loads that you're carrying. It gives you a better ride and handles it better than standard suspension. You'll put enough weight in it, it'll collapse down onto the bump stops and you'll achieve a very harsh, rough ride up there and do more damage to your vehicle that way. If we put a reasonably heavy duty kit but not too heavy duty, we'll still have the flexibility about the vehicle, especially with the weight in it. But if we put a real rigid suspension kit in it, no, you wouldn't have too much flex. It'd be just a load carrying vehicle. All of the TJM shops can do that with the new gold jockeys and stuff like that, and new suspension. Yeah, we've done the back half. Next minute, next we'll do the front and see how we go and level it all up and make sure it can do what we're looking for. Yeah, these ones have got a little bit more travel to allow a bit better articulation, and we'll see how we go. We're going to put a 170 litre fuel tank in instead of the 90 litre. Gives us a lot more distance, a bit easier, not carrying jerry cans on roof racks and things like that. And it's just a lot easier and safer to do. A lot of the vehicles, yeah, it's mainly replacement tanks you do these days. The auxiliary tank's not as common. It's simpler and easier, just go and fuel up instead of worrying about switching valves and all sorts of things.
And fuel on the roof's never a good idea?
No. Number of times you've seen roof racks break and crack up, and or jerry cans leaking and pouring fuel down the side. Not a good thing. It's specifically made for a vehicle. It's not, you can't just put a universal thing in. It's got to have baffles, and there's quite a few regulations, especially in Queensland, to how a tank's made. Yeah, all that sort of stuff though you should list on your insurance to let them know that you've changed and done that. It goes with your suspension and your lifts and the height that you've lifted it, and fuel tanks as well, and you know, even your bull bar and spotlights need to be listed. Quick check we need to do again after about 500 k's or so, especially on the corrugated roads. All these U-bolts and everything loosen up, and we'll also need to trim these U-bolts down because they'll get rock damage and we can break them off. So once we're all happy with it, we'll trim them back too.
And all new rubbers in the front end?
Yep, all new caster kit, twisted it all up, changed the casters, so it's because we've lifted the vehicle, we've actually pivoted on this point here, brought it down further. Now we need to roll the diff housing back to keep our casters similar to the same, otherwise the car will tend to wander and follow all the curves in the road. We put new coils in, it's raising the vehicle slightly. It's giving us a greater clearance from the bump stop to here, so when you actually, and the thicker coil gives it a stronger rate, so you're not bottoming out so quick, and that's what's giving a lot of people the rough rides. You add a lot of extra to your cars like bull bars and winches, and this bump stop collapses up more as all the weight goes on the front, so that's why you put a heavier spring in there and lift it up a little bit higher so you're not bottoming out so quick. And obviously you're putting a better quality shock in there to control the ride, control the spring movement and everything like that. Yeah, we've got a heavy duty spring in here because of the extra weight we've got with fuel. We've got a fair bit of weight in the back of this car here as well. You know, much more, and we'll have to start looking at extra load carrying ability here. We can go to a slightly heavier spring, or we could put a polyair bellows system in the back here. which you're allowed to adjust back and forth. And it's better if you're sort of taking loads in and out, but if you've got a constant load, you're better off setting it up with the springs straight away.